live.
This music might be copyrighted, but okay.
No, I renewed your subscription.
Captain Moneybags over there.
I did that next week. Isn't Bill supposed to say something?
Yeah.
And what's up, everybody? Welcome to the HVAC Overtime show. Yeah. Let's roll.
Yeah, nice.
We should have just put the mountain mic cue up and let him do the intro.
You know,
He even says hi to Randy Ravioli.
It was these guys agree with it. We clicked it first, and I could tell the room lit up because I missed that one.
Everyone just started cheering in their house. I sound like a robot right now.
You don't sound like it to me. You sound fine.
Yeah, that fucking overtime. Oh, dude, I forgot I have that tattoo right there. Oh, dude.
I forgot you got an overtime tattoo, dude.
I'm gonna get one on my neck.
I was literally gonna say we should change the show name, and then now I remember Bill put it on his arm.
We can't now. Yeah, we can't now. What would we call it?
You could put an X through it and then put the new name underneath it. That would actually.
No, you know what we could call it? Since we're all like Hicks, we could call it HVAC Hicks.
Speak for yourself there, Hicker.
Oh, I see what you did there.
HVAC Hicks.
Oh, nice one. See, I'm a little
but
slow
don't
there.
pronounce the C. See, you gotta say it correctly, right? HVA.
I know why I look extra white this week.
Why?
Because you don't work in the sun anymore.
I brought my camera with me to Wisconsin, and I was trying to film something. I had to change the shutter speed.
I keep looking at you. I'm gonna get snow blindness.
You were going to Wisconsin, so you had to go
to
an
like in real life.
booth.
This is your skin in real life, Bill.
It's a good thing I got sunglasses on because I can't even look at you right now.
Right? And then people ask, "Why do you guys wear sunglasses inside?" Well, look at this guy. Fuck.
Well, okay, so the reason why Bill doesn't wear sunglasses because he literally has this thing. His eyes are so blue that it looks like he's piercing your soul when he looks at you. It's a trip. It really is. But
ocean of emotion.
One of the other reasons why people wear sunglasses is because they want to look like they're looking at the camera. Like I'm looking at the camera right now, but if I look at the guys who I'm doing the show with, I'm looking down. So it's just
what was the order before? Wasn't it this guy up here?
Yeah.
Where was I?
Did we have an order?
We used to.
Oh, he's talking about the old.
I thought it was pretty random.
Well, no, it's based on who comes into the show. So Joe was always last.
Yeah,
that's true.
I think this is like how it was, right? Or was I down here?
No, I think you were down. I don't know, dude. I don't remember. I don't think I was in the top.
I definitely wasn't up in the corner. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
it feels real weird up here.
It feels weird on this side too. I'm not a lefty, buddy. I'm a righty.
No.
Get me on the other side.
You make Joe sideways for old time's sake.
No, when I was watching the mountain Mike video, if you look in the comments, I think Adam said, and he films like Joe vertical because we always used to get after Joe. For that one.
It was vertical video.
What happened to that video? It was in here. Where'd it go?
Put it up right now. Video file.
Oh
my! I don't want to share the wrong video.
Trying to. Hey
there, it's old Mountain Man from that Duck Dynasty show. Hey, it's Adam. Y'all don't miss the HVAC Overtime show. It's gonna be a great show. Who knows? They might have food, drinks, and steaks, and everything that goes with it.
Where's the steaks?
So it's gonna be a great show. The HVAC Overtime show. Take it from Mountain Man. You don't
forgot
want
the
to
C.
miss this. You don't want to miss it. Adam and Bill and Chris and Joe. Hey, it's
This
going
is
to be a
painful.
great show.
This is painful.
That is the HVAC Overtime Show. HV and HVAC.
Excuse me, sir. I'm just.
Conditioning a minute.
Can
Wait,
I
did
just-
you hear that part? He said he used to be in HVAC for many years.
That doesn't.
He
make
said
sense.
that?
Yeah,
He looks
listen
like
right here.
a lot of the guys out there.
Listen.
I used to be in HVAC. Did air conditioning a many years.
That is.
Yeah, right.
And
That is business is like comfort
just
clinic or
want to
something.
give a big
AC
shout
comfort.
Hold
out
on, press pause.
to the
Yeah, we
number
can talk.
one fan.
Can't hear you.
Do you think he flowed nitrogen when he brazed?
Absolutely.
Hell no. Hell no.
The real question is, did he sniff half of that fucking
I
refrigerant
bet
coming
you
out?
he backed his truck right up to the condenser and he worked right behind it while I was running the whole time, and that's why he talks like he talks.
Yeah, he put a hose right to his truck and
He's
fucking
got brain
sniffed
damage
it.
is what I'm getting
So
at.
what type of micron gauge was he rocking?
No, none of that.
Peter.
None of the above.
If he puts his thumb over there and he pulls it off, does it look like a little red pimple? We're good.
Very good.
Jason Johnson says when you had too many Pabst smoothies in a day.
Smoothies.
But he's doing Bill's part right here, right now.
To the number one fan, Randy Ravioli.
Thank you.
And his dog, Luke.
There you go, Randy.
Hey, Luke, can I hear you bark twice? Luke, can I hear you bark
This is like the
twice?
longest video ever.
I know.
Take it from Mountain Man. It's going to be a good HVAC Overtime Show.
Slow down there.
Booyah. Hey.
Imagine like running into that guy at the DMV. Like that's the guy taking care of you.
How much
I
did you
never-
pay for that, Adam? That was like one of those things during COVID that you paid for,
$15.
right?
Yeah, it was not expensive. He was like the cheapest one I could find.
There you
I'm
go.
not
There you
sure
have
why.
it.
Should
Why
do
There you
another
have
one.
it.
Pitch in and do another one, but with somebody cool.
Hmm.
Like there, I remember looking, and we could have got Chuck Norris for something. I don't know. I don't remember how much it was, but
Do they still do those though? I wonder. I don't think
Oh,
any
yeah,
of the
they do
celebrities are
now,
hurting
yeah.
for money anymore, though.
I see him all over Facebook with the people with their fake reactions of like, "Oh my god, it's this fucking guy who is doing something," and
We should like get people to start doing it for us.
"Oh my god, Neil Patrick Harris."
Neil Patrick Harris, yeah, that'd be funny.
Should we make a commercial for the Misfits?
No.
We could do that. We could definitely do that. So
We
what
just
is up,
do it right
everybody? It's
now?
been like months since we've done a show.
dude, it has been months.
How long has it been?
Why haven't we done a show? Hambone sent me a message recently. He's like, "What? You just breaking up? Like, what's the deal? What's the deal, yo?"
No.
Well, Bill, you are like daddy daycare over there. And
Dude, my life is a circus, man. Let me tell you, it is a circus over here.
Circus of Mexicans. Woo.
Oh, dude, you have no idea, man. It's been rough, dude. Last night, my kid crapped all over herself twice in a night. So we're
Nice.
up in the middle of the night twice.
I hope not the
changing
old
diapers.
one.
No. That's a new
Dude, there
note.
was something when my kids were little, there was something about a particular brand of diapers. We
Okay.
had to only use one brand because if we use any other brand, when they were in their swing that we would put them in, that shit would go up to their neck.
Woo.
We would go to pick 'em up and it would
Shitty
go
neck.
up their back. Yeah.
Nice.
So bad. Like we were just holding her, like after we gave her the bottle and we're holding her, and then we noticed like she was just like farting away, which is normal, you know, she's my kid. But then we're like, oh, her pajamas are turning brown.
Oh.
And we got seepage, bro. Yeah, it wasn't cool. So it's been like, so between like my circus of life and then Adam is you know, he's out of town all the time training the next generation of HVAC techs, and Joe kind of floats around, and I mean Chris is usually pretty dependable, but it's been tough, man. It's been real tough to put forth the effort we need to put forth for the show.
I wouldn't say effort. I mean, we've just all been busy, but
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
And then when you guys last week, when you said, you know, you weren't gonna be able to make the show, then I had just gotten new toolboxes delivered, and then I just destroyed my office, and it just screwed up everything. Dude, it's still not right. Like I put everything's out of whack.
You're not right.
I'm not right.
For sure, Susie, for sure.
Not right at all. But one of the things, since I took all the crap out from behind me, there's a massive echo in my office now, and it comes through and it drives me nuts. Dude.
Nobody can hear that. I can't hear it.
It drives me nuts. I hear it just echoing in my ears. It's just stupid.
Hey, there, Q Nuts in the top right corner who's been playing with their sounds. What have you been up to?
I just found that. Sorry.
It's okay.
I sound weird to myself. I don't know why.
You sound all right.
What have you been up to, Joe? I don't think we've talked to each other in quite a long time. This is like a family reunion.
It is a family reunion.
Definitely is.
I would try to do that with my little deal, but I don't want to risk rooting.
If you look on the screen, Bill, if you look on the digital screen, when you push the left and right buttons at the bottom of the sound pads, it tells you what it's going to. Because they should still have the automatic sound pads on there.
You know what I forgot to do before I sold my mixer?
That one?
I sold my mixer to my new job.
Uh-huh.
I forgot to take off all the sex sounds off the...
You're going to be in the middle of a really important freaking thing and then bloop. Oh, that's funny.
I should probably warn them about that.
Yeah, I think you should.
That's going to be an awkward conversation, huh?
Did you at least pull the little memory card of the back that you had all your crap stored on?
No.
No, we're not doing that. I'm flat broke this year. No Christmas giveaway. Fucking done.
Hey, you hear that, dude?
Chris, hang a bunch of shirts and sweaters, promote merch, and reduce echo at the same time. That is a good point.
Yeah, that's the whole point, though, is I wanted all the merch out of my office, dude. It was
overcrowding this place. The minimalism.
Yeah.
Speaking of
put a mannequin.
Oh, yeah, that's a cool idea, actually. Yeah, you should do a mannequin, a creepy-ass mannequin.
That would be kind of cool.
With merch.
Yeah, dressed up in your merch, no pants on, giant mannequin bulge just hanging out.
Wow.
Dude, what if I put the green screen suit on one of the fucking skeletons I have?
Perfect.
They're like life size, and then put a hat on it.
Chris.
Yo.
I think if you turn around to your left, that the poster on that back wall on the left corner is hanging down farther than the one on the right wall.
Chris isn't centered. That's my problem. Is like, his logo is centered, but he isn't centered.
Yeah,
it's been bothering.
That black curtain.
Here's the dilemma.
There you go.
Yeah, that's better.
The microphone doesn't reach.
Oh, come on, bro.
You got to move your logo over then.
You got to do something because that's
the logo's off too.
Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that the freaking poster is not straight, Adam.
Wheels
that's going to drive me fucking nuts.
Straight. Turn the wheels straight.
Do you remember those toys as a kid where they give you the like little the white pricky things, and you take the little plastic nubs and place them all over, then you iron it, and you could make like.
Oh yeah. They still have those.
I feel like Chris made his logo out of.
Oh, that's a good idea, actually.
You mean that logo back there?
Yeah.
Crochet?
Yeah.
No, that's actually a really cool one that Will Speed made me.
Cool.
It's like I don't think he said it was 3D printed. I don't know what it is, but just some weird logo thing that he made. It's cool. No, we're still like figuring everything out. I gotta like figure out the mic because it's not where it's supposed to be. But yeah, everything's minimalist, guys. Like, I don't know if you saw in my video, one of my live streams, I did like a video and I show like the desk because I have toolboxes everywhere. My desk is a toolbox too. So it's a standing desk, so I can raise it or lower it.
I didn't know
What's that?
Your desk is a toolbox?
Yeah, watch. Keep talking for a sec. I'll grab this video.
Yeah.
What should we talk about?
Did you see the picture I sent? 2 pumps, Armstrong, 2 big Armstrong pumps were overheating. I don't know. Sorry?
You have to use words like airflow, heat load calculation.
Then he'll start perking up, eh? Hey, I'm perking up now. I'm perking up. He's talking about airflow.
Nasty.
Anywho, they're supposed to be white. I don't know if you guys know.
There used to be all shelving and a desk over here.
Sorry, Joe.
It's all gone. Now, I'm not completely done. I think I might add an end cabinet, move these guys together. I don't like the look of the cables and stuff, and I don't like the look of that coax sticking out, but it's all little things. But eventually, too, we're in the process of, we're going to get rid of all this flooring and put all new flooring. But for now, this is good. Plenty of storage for all my stuff. I'll be able to have all my parts and everything on here, cut apart and all that. different compressors on display. You flip around to this side. Got another desk right here. I got rid of one of my monitors because the fourth monitor was just useless.
Is that
really.
is that a
still
toolbox desk?
It's a crafting table,
But
man.
it's a desk.
It's meant for a garage, but on the right hand side where my headphones are hanging down in the bottom, it's a hand crank and it raises up.
Oh, sweet.
12 inches,
love
and then
those.
it'll go all the way down. So it's not electric, but it's, you know,
cool.
you can move it. So if I wanted to stand in here, I could literally raise it up to where I can
Oh,
stand.
That's a Husky?
Yeah.
Wow.
I like that.
My hand crank only goes up 4.5 inches.
You always
No,
got to save the last inch, you know.
And watch, you'll see. We're actually going to be rebuilding my PC and getting a more updated one that's more powerful. This one's done great. It's just, it's time to add more hard drives to it. And the other thing is something I've always dealt with is when we built this PC, we built it with AMD products and an AMD Threadripper. And that doesn't work as well as it should with the Adobe.
You know, Chris changes his technology like more often than Leo changes his girlfriends, I think.
Dude, it was 3 years ago that I built that.
3 years ago?
3 years ago.
It works fine.
But check this out. You're going to see all the shit that was in my office right now. But we're going to go to an all Intel based system with NVIDIA graphics card. That's a thing in the process, but I really wanted to clean everything up. Cable management is a huge thing. You know, as good as it can be. This is all mobile, so I do have to pull this silly little rug. I'm working on getting a new rug in here too. But this moves. You can see we just have one cable running over, and then everything else is all up, zip tied up, put back. It's not as pretty as I'd like it to be, but you know, it's not really stuff that you see from the back, but just kind of the last time what I did was I had everything like in. Well, let me skip. I want to get to the
Knowing
point
how
here.
OCD Chris is, I'm honestly surprised you didn't
It
run
was all
conduit
zipped.
to all that stuff.
That what?
That you didn't run conduit to all that.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to know when to let it go. Tied together, you know? So now it's individual zip ties and all that stuff. Little UPS right there in case we run out of power or power gets turned off. Then I can still operate for a few minutes, getting everything shut down and all that. Yeah, so new office setup. Again, everything's going to change. Oh, wait till you see where my old office is. There you go. There's my old office in our front living room. My wife's pissed. Still haven't figured out where I'm going to put everything, what I'm going to do with everything. Oh, yeah, and we still got more of my old office. The rest of my old office is out here in the garage room. We have a garage room that's kind of my wife's quasi gym out here. But all this stuff was in my office. The merch, the shelving, everything. RC cars and stuff weren't in there, but so she's got a little desk right here where she can do shipping stuff from, you know, that. Yeah. Anyways, that's it.
Jeez.
But yeah, there's just, you don't realize how much crap you have packed in here till you start emptying out cabinets and buckets. And
see, all you're missing are mason jars filled with feces, and then you can be on that hoarder show.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Is Ike building your computer again?
No.
No,
I mean, he didn't build this one. He helped me like pick the components and stuff, but I did it all. I don't know. I'm going back and forth. Oh, the quality's blurry. That's just because it was a cheap quality video that I made. I didn't make it all fancy.
Who accepted? I didn't see this. I didn't do it. Levi Miller. He posted another great trolling picture. Nobody accepted it.
What?
Nobody. The Levi Miller post in the overtime group.
I don't do anything in the overtime group anymore.
I don't know.
Oh my god.
I have no idea.
Who is Levi in here?
No, he's just he's a good troll. I'm pretty sure some people know him, like Ray, and we're in the overtime group. But he's a good troll. You know him too. Jeez.
Oh, I know. He always knows
him.
his son Jonathan.
Yes, him.
My son Jonathan made me good mashed potatoes tonight.
He's awesome. He's funny. But anyways,
my wife's in the other room cooking eggplant.
Oh, nice.
We're having that for dinner tonight after the show.
Ew, why?
Why not? Why not, dude? Fried eggplant.
Eggplant's good
with some sauce on some spaghetti. Oh hell, dude, that's our favorite dinner.
Yeah, that is good.
Yeah.
I guess I've never had eggplant cooked in any way that makes it taste good.
You soak it, you let it dry, whatever, on the counter for a while, and then you fry it, and then I don't know. She's got it all figured out.
Water or something.
Something, I don't know. I have no idea what she does. I know she does something where she has to prep it, set it on the counter for like an hour or two, and then
I want to randomly show up one night for dinner. That's what I want to do. I would love to just randomly show up to your house one day for dinner.
Adam, you should show up when you come out here, dude.
I'm going to just, I'm not going to tell you when. I'm just going to show up.
That's fine, dude. My wife will be like, there's some random ass dude that's really tall at the door. And he's kind of creeping me out. Adam will just be standing there like, hey, is Chris here?
You know, it'd be hilarious that if he trips over your step and falls face fast in the door like his video. And
or he sues me. And then there's a lawsuit because he tripped over my step.
Hey, Chris, somebody put a mannequin in our yard. No, that's my friend Adam. He has mannequin legs. Let me help him.
Yeah, you got stuck there. Anyways, so Bill, what's up to the install? How'd that install go? Did you guys finish that or what?
No, it's still going, dude. Yeah. So it has been like, I don't know. It's been a slow going process. I don't know, Adam or Chris, you guys have the capability to throw up some of those pictures on the old computer. So I've been doing this change out, this 15 and 25 ton AC system. Mm-hmm. And I would guarantee anybody that has done projects or done piping or done installs of the larger magnitude would probably be done by now. So we gutted the whole thing, and now we're running pipe all through the building, up to the second floor, new condensers, pipes going all across the roof and everything. But it is taking a long time. It feels like it's just taking forever. So that's another job I did, just the new spare pump that we installed for a place. That's a heavy ass pump, by the way.
Oh yeah, it looks heavy.
Yeah, that was about 3 o'clock in the afternoon because the crane actually died. When we got the crane positioned, it died, and so we had to wait for a new crane to arrive.
Sorry to cut you off, but the other pump behind it's still going, chugging away.
Yeah, dude. I don't know why they didn't change that one over there, honestly, because the one we pulled out was in better shape, but I didn't diagnose it. I don't know if it burnt up or I don't know what the deal was, whether we were just told to change it out. But dude, that one over there, even the pad, like everything is just falling apart on that. So maybe they're replacing this one, which is the middle one, which is the spare, and then they can get this one up and running, and then they can shut that one down and replace it. I don't know. But we're going into winter, so I mean, you could just do them all right now, and while everything's shut down, because they drain the system in the winter, so they could easily just do them all. But so this AC change out that we're doing, all this piping and stuff, it's like I'm figuring this stuff out as I go, because I'm not really a project guy. So I kind of wanted to like put this up here, and I know it's not the best bunch of pictures, but I wanted to put this up here and just have you guys just burn me on it if there's anything.
Wow, it looks great.
So these are my inverted traps up on the roof, and the lines don't look even because I have the suction lines are tilted a little bit to get the flow going towards the condensing units.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you're using the correct strut clamps.
Why not?
Why not?
You're just using hydrosorb clamps. Those are fine, but they make something called curioushvacguy clamps that basically insulated. The insulation never stops. In the middle, there's a piece of insulation on the curioushvacguy clamp that comes with the whole clamp. And then so you just butt the insulation up a couple inches before, or you can do saddles where you don't even whatever. But those are fine for air conditioning, dude. That's fine. If it was a walk-in freezer, you'd need to use like curioushvacguy or something. But air conditioning, you're fine.
Yeah.
They also have those other ones that I don't know, explain it.
That the insulation slides into. They're like a plastic fitting.
Oh yeah.
Or if you have real good insulating guys, they just insulate right over top of those and just keep on going.
Yeah.
I'm not a good insulation guy. As you'll see, like once we get this all wrapped up and I insulate those corners, and you'll see how crappy my job is. So right here, this is
that's odd.
This is the second P trap. So it's two P traps. I got one on the first floor, which you kind of saw in that first picture. And then this is the second one. And the way I had to do it, because I don't have much room, this is inside the wall next to the women's room. We had to open up the wall to get access to this chase, just so we can go straight up through the mechanical room into the roof. And I had to put my second P trap somewhere. So I put it right there because this is the only spot I could mount a second piece of unistrut and clamp it together. And right above this, there's another strut mount that I was able to attach to. So I have my trap comes up, it's trapped right there, and then it angles up. And I was kind of concerned about the angle, but I think I got it at a steep enough angle that I shouldn't have any issue returning. I'm hoping.
Yeah, I'm trying to understand what's going on there. I can't really tell. Like, what direction is that going?
It's going straight up and down. It's an odd picture, but so there's
it's like looking down on it, huh, or something like that.
Yeah, because I don't have to get into that chase. You have to like climb over this piece of ductwork and then shimmy your fat body in there, and then you can work. It's super hard.
Huh.
Yeah, you could tell it's a little awkward space.
And I was able to cut out one of the exhausts because there's 2 exhausts that run there. To the right side, you'll see the other exhaust ductwork that's going through there. And what we're looking through is the exhaust ductwork that I had to cut out just to get to.
Time out.
Say hi to Stephen Reardon. You need to get that off before we see your private messages, Steven.
Yeah, no kidding.
As he's talking about how much he hates the overtime show, and I fucking want to quit. And these guys are always making me come on here. Like, you don't want us to see that.
Was that the end of the pictures? I think it was.
Yeah, just those 4 pictures. But all that to say, all that to say, like going into this project, this is the by far the biggest piping job I've ever done. And I'm just like figuring out a lot of shit on my own. But I will say, I have a new apprentice now. And this new apprentice, like, it pisses me off because he actually has good ideas, and it makes me wonder why I didn't think of things like this. So, for example, today we got these condensers, and on the condensers, the suction line is above the liquid line, like on the condenser. The valves going into the condenser itself. Suction line up here, liquid line down here, and our lines are all horizontal coming across our blocks, right? And so I'm like, well, we could do this, we could do this. And he's like, well, how about we just have the suction line will come in just with the elbow, go up and in, and then well, what about the liquid line because it sits next to it? I'm like, we got shorter. We have to have an elbow, and we have to have an elbow and go like this. He's like, well, just take the elbow and angle it, and then you just go right in there. I'm like, it's fucking that'll work fine. God damn it, And that's another one of his ideas that fucking pissed me off because I'm like, I should have.
I don't allow swing joints in my company, Bill.
I have more experience.
Looks you did a good job. Listen, there's guys I noticed even on the company I'm with, like on the VRF side, that are licensed, getting paid top dollar, and they just want to pipe, dude. All they do is DX piping. All they want to do is pipe. That's all they want to do. They want to just pipe and go home, and they do a good job. And that's a lot of guys. Sheet metal. Well, sheet metal is another dog of pony, but.
About this pre-made traps. So I bought some of this pre-made P traps, and I was told because they're a real tight radius, the ones that are just come down, they got the P, and they're super tight radius. I was told you're not allowed to use those with R410 because of the tight radius.
Joe, turn your head.
You looking at his earring?
Yeah. When did you have earrings hanging in your ear, bro?
Let's see.
Turn your head. I can.
Is that a cross? Are you like? That's like
George Michael, bro.
Yeah,
fucking that is George Michael. George Michael wears a cross.
Michael, you're right. He did have
his right ear, bro.
Yeah, it's right.
100%. You gotta have faith, man. You gotta have faith.
It looks good.
Doesn't that mean something if it's in your right ear?
I have one on my left ear too.
Yeah, I got
back in the day, like in the 80s and 90s. If you only had one earring and it was in one, it was at your right ear. That meant you were gay. I think it with it. So if you were not gay, you put it in your left ear. That's why my left ear was pierced and not my right ear. So
show us your left ear, Joe. Let me see your other ear.
I don't see an earring there, Joe. Is there an earring there?
No, there is. You had a stud right there, didn't you?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How long have you had your ears pierced, dude?
For a while, dude.
Dude, I wonder if I could push one through my ear still.
Do it. You could.
How long have you had the thirst for wiener?
Chris.
Yo,
for a long time.
Just go take your fingers on your earlobe and like kind of smash your earlobe and then smell it.
There's no hole there, dude. Mine's all closed up. But
no, it stays like forever. They don't close.
Well, no, it's like, isn't it like a fat or something like that fills it in or something? Something weird goes.
Squeeze it, and smell it.
No, do that too. Put your finger in your belly button. That's where you get the best smells. Or if you rub behind your ear. Rub behind your ear and then smell it. Do that.
You guys, fuck. Yeah. Anyways, traps for mineral.
Oh, anyway. So yeah, going back to the P traps. So I was told you can't use the pre-made P traps because of the tight radius.
Never heard that before. There's more of a tight radius on a 90 than there is on a pre-made trap because pre-made traps sweep pretty big. And then also, someone was saying that Froggy was saying you shouldn't, or you didn't think that, or I'm assuming you said. Froggy's saying POE is missable, meaning that it moves with the refrigerant.
Anyway.
Yeah, but you can still get refrigerant or you can still get oil trapped in the system. So
yeah. Well, in the manufacturer literature says that it calls for P traps. Although, I mean, I'm pushing 30 feet on the vapor line.
yeah.
And in the manufacturer literature, it says anything above 20 feet, you're supposed to use a double suction riser. But I was told to just trap it anyway because we're only at 30 feet. So that's what we're doing. Two traps.
Did you put solenoid valves or no?
Not yet, but I will. I'm putting solenoid valves. I'm isolating the removable core dryer shells, isolation valves all around those, so I can change the dryer shells without too big of an issue. Yeah,
how far is your evaporator above? You said 30 feet?
Yeah, 30 feet.
Okay.
What are you doing with that filter bank?
They took that all out. They ripped that all out and just put a nice little tight transition in there, going right into the cheap filters that are inside the unit.
Dude, so on those carrier, bigger split systems, the freaking filter rack is so stupid on those because they just rely on that tiny little plastic slide. There's like 3 of them, and so when you want to change the filters, you pull the black plastic slide out.
The black thing.
Yeah,
that's the stupidest.
It's so dumb. And then what happens is because those are slanted coils, and so depending on how you mount it, over time they'll end up dripping onto the filters, and then the filters get wet and they fall right out of that slide. It's so fucking dumb, dude.
I really do wish they would have kept the old filter rack and or built a new one because just changing the filters on it looks so stupid and clunky and just fucking dumb.
Yeah,
I'm over it.
That's nice.
But yeah, so I was thinking doing this project. I'm kind of at a toss up because I haven't done really service calls in like a month and a half. I've been doing nothing but these big projects, and I don't mind these big projects, but some days I'm like lugging buckets of chain falls upstairs, and I'm like, this is hard on the body, dude. Can I do this for another 5 or 10 years?
Yeah. Right.
I got an apprentice to help, but I don't know, man.
You don't do those too often, big projects like that.
I mean, it's getting more often, and if I get good at it, then I'll probably be doing more and more of them. Which
small ones, like this is a little big. What you're doing, small ones are pretty nice, but anything huge, like big projects, yeah, you can't.
How long did they budget for that job?
Yeah,
I don't know, but I have much for a long time. Like I said, I feel like if somebody was used to doing piping like this and has a lot more experience doing it than me, I feel like they could probably go in there and bust it out in 2 weeks after the demo. I feel, but like I have no plans. There was nothing drawn. They were just like, pipe it in. Here's some pipes. So I'm just like, all right, well now what? We just figure it out as we go. And then I was waiting for clarification from the manufacturer on the trap situation and line sizing and this and the equivalent length and all this other stuff I've figured out. I'm like, listen, I don't want to make that judgment call. So probably for a week, I drug my feet and just kind of like rearranged things. I cleaned the mechanical room the one day. I put the trash in a nice pile. I counted the nuts and bolts.
The nuts and bolts.
He's over here organizing, and he's like, "Oh shit! Someone knocked it over." Whoosh, knocks it over, and then does it again.
I do it all over again. Like there was a rug in the mechanical room. I rolled up the rug and I swept underneath the rug. Even
dude straight up took pictures and pretended like he was Aladdin flying on the rug. He's like sitting on it, like trying to superimpose himself.
Idea. I didn't think about that. I could like put ripples in it. Like it's a good idea. I hope nobody ever watches this.
What about that was oh gosh, Casey Neistat, and what's the one dude that they set up a rug on boosted boards and they were riding through New York City and he was dressed up as Aladdin and it like went viral on YouTube years ago. Jesse from Prank versus Prank. What's his last name? I can't think of his last name.
Remember.
No.
Yeah, him and his girlfriend used to prank each other on a YouTube channel. I can't think of the name of his name. Anyways, but I've been doing a lot of projects too because work like hit a brick wall as far as service calls go. So for the most part, I've been trying to let my guys do all the service calls. That way they can get hours. And then I've been doing a lot of office work and then working on projects. So we've been doing a lot AC installs. We had 2 AC installs.
Your apprentice. I don't know if I'm supposed to use his name live on air, but
I keep it apprentice. But he's doing good, hanging in there. It's different having someone new, and I have to remind myself that everybody's not me. you know, and like, so it's, I have to constantly, because the tiny voices in my head go insane sometimes. And so I have to remind myself, like, no, this is a normal thing. Like, you need to be patient and you need to, you know, and because yeah, that's what therapy does to me. It makes me realize that I have irrational thoughts.
Are you going to therapy?
Not lately, but
I've been telling you that for a very long time, Chris.
I've been to therapy. I was the first person to go to therapy long before you guys, before I even probably knew you guys.
Office once.
What's that?
I drove by a therapist office once.
Did I tell you guys what I did the first time I went into the therapist's office? Okay, so this is going to show you how much of an asshole that I am. I went into the therapist's office. This was for my very first visit. I didn't even know what to expect. Actually, it was a psychiatrist that I went to see because he had to fix me first, right? And pump me full of meds and all that crap. But when I sat in there, I realized like there was a bunch of fucking crazy people in there. I think that this psychiatrist's office gets like county patients too. Because I'm like, there was legitimate crazy people
like
in there.
Looney Tunes, crazy.
They were like walking around, and like this one lady was walking around and she was talking to everybody, and she was like 3 people away from me. And I'm like, I don't want to talk to this person. Like, what the fuck am I going to do? So I put my hands on my head and started fucking just
you're
back and forth. Yeah. And then everybody in the place just left me alone. And I was like, cool, that's all I got to do.
That's amazing.
Everybody left me alone.
They're like, yeah, that guy's nuts. Even the crazy lady thought you were freaking nuts.
Probably. Hey, she didn't talk to me. I was good, man. So
now
yeah, I am that asshole. Just don't talk to me.
Awkward conversation in the elevator when people try talking to me. I'm just going to do that next time.
I was going to do something that would get me kicked off YouTube, but I'm not going to do that.
You'll just start making siren noises.
Okay, so what the heck, dude? What's his name?
Freddie?
Frank McDonald?
Frankie McDonald is popping up everywhere, dude. He's blowing up on social media. Everybody's reposting his videos right now, dude. We've been talking about Frankie McDonald for years.
Yeah, his net worth is now. He's blowing up.
I don't think it's changed very much, but like
$47.
Maybe. Dude is awesome. So Frankie McDonald started. Someone found him. I used to listen to a radio show called Opie and Anthony, and I heard about Frankie McDonald on that show. And he would do the weather. He would do the weather. He'd call in and give him the weather. I've always wanted him to call in and give us the weather too on our show. That'd be awesome. But
I'm sure we could probably get him to do something with our show.
Probably.
He's smarter than you think.
No. That dude's smart. He's legitimately. He's got to be making some pretty good money off of what he's doing, and it's probably helping to support him, dude. Like, more power to him. So he's up in Nova Scotia too. So
yes, Canadian boy.
Yep,
laddie. I was at I was checking out this engineered area. Anybody of you guys work on engineered area, and all of a sudden the screen goes blank periodically once a month? Still maintains set point. It's an ERV. Still maintains set point, but it just doesn't respond to communication, and the screens blank up like on the control.
It's commercial?
Yeah.
How big?
Oh, it's big. I don't know. Fuck. I don't know how big, but it's pretty big.
Like 20 ton, 30 ton? What are we talking here?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you, bro.
Like, can you walk inside of it?
No.
It's not
this
big.
is going to be absolutely perfect. Nobody is going to miss the fight because this thing isn't going on.
Good.
For a while. So legit. Yeah. We're all over here. I got an iPad over here watching the fight.
All the people watching right now, they're like, oh, you jerk offs. I thought I was sacrificing to watch you.
I know.
I don't.
Anyways,
I'll hear about it in the news tomorrow. I'm not too confused.
And there's not much to those things. So I'm just wondering if any of you guys, anybody in the chat too, have come across that.
Nope. Second question.
I have something when you don't.
Ribbon cable, Joe. What do you mean? For like the communication side?
Yes, the fight is on Netflix, Jessica. Which I'm not a sports fan, but now that it's on Netflix, or since it's on Netflix, I will actually watch it because I never would have paid for this. There's no way in hell I would have paid pay-per-view.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like if they putting like football games on Netflix and stuff, I would probably just watch it. I'm not a big sports dude. I just don't.
You know what? I'm not a big sports dude, but I did sign up for YouTube TV, like at a discounted trial, just to be able to watch the World Series. And I'm glad I did. That first game of the World Series was freaking epic, dude.
World Series is sick. Jason, sorry, let me just get back to Jason. Jason, I know one time that's what they're saying because I was talking to him. Once he had to reboot it and he had to reset the baud rate on the communication side. But other than that, I don't know if he's just saying that. but that's what he's saying.
Why would he just say that?
Well, he could just try to push the blame to I don't know, the system, or I don't know. I haven't had good experience with these the company that does that side and other jobs too. So I don't know. Like, I mean, like, units haven't been running. I'm like, dude, I'm setting all your what's it called, parameters right. It's dialed in, baud rate, blah blah blah. It's an automatic baud rate, whatever it's called. It sets its own auto generated whatever. Everything on my end is good. So we're gonna get to the bottom of this. Why isn't this machine communicating? So I'm ready to call. I was ready to call. I think this was a Linux. I was ready to get those. It's a module you could hook up and set your own.
You're fucking with your
You
camera,
can set your own baud rate. Or
God.
your own whatever.
You do not look just as cool as you were a minute ago.
Yeah, you can't.
And but then he calls me back saying, "Oh yeah, something on our end. Yeah, sorry, we didn't realize something on our end was off." And I'm okay. Thanks, guys. This machine has been running in months. You know. Anyways.
So what they have to do?
They had to do something on their end. I don't know. Something wasn't connected on their end. I don't know what the fuck they said. I can't remember now, but it's weird because they even send their service tech over. Oh yeah, nothing's wrong. Oh, okay. So I go back and I'm calling the manufacturer of the what do I call it? Manufacturer? I can't remember.
They sent over a service tech from the factory?
No, communication side.
Oh, okay. So
yeah, like the communication guy who ran the daisy chain and all that shit. So everything's fine, and it still wasn't running. So I went there back, and then that's when I'm like, hey guys, they have the phone, and apparently this guy's a douche. I don't give a fuck. Anyways, and we had to get to the bottom of it, and something on their end. In the end, it was something on their end. So now who gets stuck with that service call? We are on their end. I don't know. But anyways, so I was just wondering what's going on with. Yeah,
we did an install on a 15-ton Prodigy, or not a Prodigy. What is it called? Core Linux packaging. Unit. Core is their new controller. Yeah. It's I've done a video with it, but you pair it with your phone or your iPad, and then you program the unit from your iPad or your phone.
We'll be commissioning units soon with that, by the way. I can't wait.
Oh, it's super easy, man.
I know,
it really is. And there's a few things that actually this tip I'm going to give you right now. I didn't film this because I was letting Will, my old apprentice, who's like badass technician now, I was letting Will do the startup of this unit and like go through it and everything. And so I didn't film any of it, but when we started the unit up, we turned it on, we gave it a call from the thermostat. All of a sudden we immediately got a VFD fault, and it was like error 129 or something like that, VFD fault. And we're like, what the heck? So we first thing we did was, because we knew tech support was going to be a while, so we turned the unit off, we pulled the VFD apart, made sure nothing was loose, nothing was unhooked. It wasn't. Then we went over to the blower motor. We pulled the blower motor, make sure everything was wired right, it wasn't grounded, all that stuff. And then we hardwired the blower motor without the VFD, ran fine, wasn't overamping, everything was great. Then we called tech support and we put the unit back together. We set everything up, and then eventually tech support answered. And right when we told him we had a VFD fault, he goes, 129 or whatever the number was. And we said, yeah. Will was talking to him. He goes, yeah. And he goes, all right. He goes, go down to the ignition boards. 2 ignition boards in the bottom of the unit. One for each bank of heat, one for each heat exchanger, right? And he goes, look at the COM cable. There's a COM cable running from the VFD, daisy chaining into the ignition boards, and then going to the core controller board. And then he had us trace it back. Apparently, there's a problem from the factory. The people at the factory keep just plugging the cords into anything, and they're not putting them into the right ports. So that way they're not communication. It's causing a VFD fault. And all it is just unplugging a cable, plugging it back into the right port, and making sure they're all set up. So he knew right away. Once we did that, we turned the unit back on. Problem solved. Everything's running fine.
You knew that right away. Like, that's got to be super common.
He even told Will, he's like, he goes, I even went to the factory, and he's like, I was taking the factory workers. This is how bad it is, apparently, is what he's saying. And he's like, it's still happening. They had so many units go out, and they're just plugging them into the wrong ports. What the hell are they plugging them into the ignition boards for? That's so stupid.
It's hard to get those Venezuelan kids to do their thing, do everything right when they don't speak great language. They can barely even reach the things, It's hard.
I don't know if the units are being made down there yet, but I know that they just opened like one of the biggest warehouses in the world, I think, down in Monterrey, Mexico. And they've got this giant, I think it's Monterrey. I don't remember where it's somewhere. No, isn't Monterrey where Yama lives?
That's where Yami's from.
That's what it is. It's somewhere in Mexico. Maybe it is.
I was like, why there?
Yeah. But yeah, they built a giant Linux plant down there, and supposedly they're going to start making everything down there. Let's see. Jason Johnson says it's because it's a COM bus running through, but I still just don't understand why they're running it through the ignition boards. There seems like there could be a better way to do that and less connections if they just had a communication to the board and then some sort of communication from the board directly to each ignition board. It seems like there would have been a little bit less potential problems that way.
Purple plug, purple Molex.
Yeah, like what happens if an ignition board shorts out? Then you lose everything in the unit. Can you imagine an ignition board shorting out in the summertime and you have no AC because of the VFD fault?
Yeah.
It just sounds dumb. So
it does seem like a weird way to daisy chain things through the ignition board. I wonder why they did that. He didn't like clue you in on.
I wasn't on the phone. I would have if it was me on the phone, I probably would have went deep with the dude. Like, what the fuck are they doing that for? Like, why? But
that's like Carrie running their fan call from the ignition board.
Yeah, well, you know, I kind of okay. So let me, Nathan, I get the fan call from the ignition board. I think they're trying to save some logic in the main board. I mean, I understand what they're doing. I don't agree with it, but I mean, it's probably a similar thing here, you know. So I don't know. It was just odd.
Canvas network.
Sorry,
I think a lot of times they could probably use different kind of connectors. Like that bothers me on circuit boards where they have like 2 or 3 different Molex plugs of the same type, the same style going. You know what I mean? Like, can't you use a different style connector where you could just like, wait, one thing only fits into one hole? You know what I mean?
You know, in surprisingly, you guys mentioned that on the Prodigy Linux units, which are the previous unit, they were the first ones to come out when that was Linux's first iteration of having individual plugs, and they were idiot proof. Like on the Prodigy, I mean, everything had its own plug port. Like they wouldn't match up to anything else. So when you changed a board or something, it was relatively easy. It would just only fit in one spot. And they shared that on the main board on this unit, but yet the ignition, it's just the COM line from the VFD running through the ignition boards that has the weird ports, but whatever. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but we've been doing a lot of installs like that. And then we had what Will, again, I don't, it kind of, it's weird because I'm not getting the footage of the cool service calls because Will's been taking a lot of them lately. Like I walk him through it over the phone and stuff, but he had one today. We did a hybrid walk-in freezer install yesterday where we changed refrigeration equipment on it, condenser, evaporator, fixed the line set, all that crap. And when we started it up, everything was good. It was actually too good. Everything went too easy, you know? So I sent him back there today just to follow up after it had been running for like 24 hours. And he gets there, he goes, dude, everything's down to temp. He checked on the roof, was checking everything out. It was all perfect. It was an intelligence system, so it's super easy to set up. And before he called me, he's like, yeah, everything's good, man. And I'm like, cool, close it out. Let's get out of there. And then he called me back. He goes, I checked one more thing. He goes, the drain's iced up. So when we did this, we realized when we pulled the old equipment out, the customer supplied this, they didn't have a drain line heater. And this is a hybrid freezer. It's running at 27 degrees. Okay. So it's just below freezing. And I call it a hybrid freezer just because it's like just barely below freezing. But he said that he looked, or when we changed it out, there was no drain line heater. There was no insulation on the drain. So we're putting it all back together. And then I'm sitting here thinking, this is a freezer. Like, that's odd. So we changed the drain. And because there wasn't money in the quote that we quoted for a drain line heater. So we changed the drain and I put a super steep pitch on it because I wanted to make sure that like if water was going to go down, it was going to fall, you know, no whatsoever going to stand. Yeah, especially since it didn't have a heater. So we did that. So Will went back today and he's like, dude, there's ice in the drain pan. And then he pulled a union and he goes, there's ice in the union. He grabbed a water hose and he tried to blow down it and it was blocked. And he's like, damn. So then he calls me and I'm sitting there thinking, dude, I don't got money in this quote. They're going to like, this is going to be a pain in the ass, you know, because adding a drain line heater to a 15-foot long drain when you do the wrap and insulation, dude, that's going to add like $1,200. They're expensive, dude, those fucking heaters, if you do them right. So he started looking into it. And long story short, he pulled the drain into a bunch of different pieces. There was a pipe plug in the middle of the drain. It wasn't iced up. Or it was iced up just because there was a pipe plug. Because when he was trying to blow it out with water, it wouldn't. So then he's just like cutting it out. And I asked him, I'm like, what was the pipe that you used? Or what was the pipe that was there? I said, was it ACR or was it type M? And he said it was ACR pipe. So I had grabbed 10 foot of plumbing drain line from Home Depot, and there was some other stuff in my other guy's van, and he just grabbed that out of his van, and there was a pipe plug in there, and he didn't realize it, soldered it all in, drain was all bitching, didn't pour water down the drain. We didn't pour water down the drain before we left. We didn't think about it. And then Will found it today. But yeah, he went down in there. He was able to get it all out. He found it eventually, but yeah, that was a pain in the ass, dude. I mean, we're not going to lose out on the job. We're still fine. But he had an extra freaking 4 hours of labor today going out there trying to.
Could have took his thermal camera and just scanned the drain line. Not that you would have really thought of it.
It just wasn't even thinking that. We were thinking it was ice. But I will say one thing in hindsight. He called me before he cut it all up into pieces, and he said he couldn't get the water to blow through, but he was tapping on the drain, and he goes, it was hollow. So he was like, this is weird. So we didn't think about it too hard, because if it was iced up, it would have been solid.
Yeah.
And when you're tapping on it, it's hollow. It means it's empty. Well, that's because there was a rubber ACR pipe plug in the middle of the damn pipe. Fuck. At least it was a drain line, though. Imagine if it was a refrigeration line. That would have sucked.
Yeah, that would suck.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going through, like with this little piping thing that I'm doing. It's got those little white plugs at the end of all the copper. And luckily though, those ones, like they kind of like mushroom out of the pipe. So I don't think you could really. I think you could, but it would take some effort to forget one in there.
Sorry, I was reading Clive's thought. You said, say what that again?
The piping that I'm doing, I'm kind of a little apprehensive about that as well, having plugs in the end of all the copper.
Yeah, dude, you just when you're doing, I don't do a lot of piping, so that is a real fear of mine. So yeah, I'm super vigilant about, and it takes me too long because I am making sure 100% like that you're not putting a plug in there. I've heard Kevin Compass from Advanced Refrigeration Podcast. I've heard him tell a couple stories, but one of them I remember, and they've run into that a lot because he's a startup technician for supermarket stuff. And so he goes on all the startups after the stuff's been installed, and he's told I've heard him tell the story about, getting plugs out and what they have to do. Basically I've heard him say, like, it just gets to the point where you don't have time and you just bust out the Sawzall and you just start fucking cutting until it just goes boom. And then they'll go shut it off and do what they got to do once they find it, just because it takes so long and freaking miles of pipe to try to find a spot. So it's crazy.
I can't imagine that.
But yeah. So what's been up with you, Joe?
You know what? I've been just trying to solve a lot of problems. It's actually fun. I think today I was talking to a manager, and I kind of feel like I don't know, put it this way. I kind of like mentioned that I still want to stay where I'm at. Like, I like being out in the field. I want to like figure everything out with these jobs, a lot of these hiccups that we came across. Like I was at today, another prestigious hotel. Couple problems. 3 heat pumps they installed, our company, and it's hard to you gotta know how to say it, because if you're doing a heat job, I'm glad when I'm coming to these jobs, it's not me saying, okay, it looks like shit, and that's why you're getting alarmed, and this is what that's already done. So now I'm just fixing it. So I can still look good, but I'm not the one coming down on the guys who did the job. So that helps me. But anyways, 3 heat pumps. They just put them together. They just cut a slot for 1-inch filters and just slap them in there. It looks like shit. And this is like a hotel that's going to give us so much money. So with a tight spot, the Daikin heat pumps for hotels, using a cooling tower loop, I had to separate the plenum. It came with racks, 2-inch racks. I put them on the system. Then made my own flange with channel, blah, 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 blah. Then I had to discover why they're getting low pressure issues. So they have a fresh air coming into the building. That room is cold. And then I'm looking to see this ductwork, and you got a fresh air going to a mixing box for these heat pumps with no heater. So in the winter, when it gets colder, you're getting whatever air coming through, and it's going to the return, and it's fucking just low pressure alarm on the fucking heat pumps, and they're going off on stupid nonsense alarms because there's no heater. It's getting too cold.
Yeah.
So little things like that. The cooling tower loop. Well, when they put the heat pumps in, nice press fittings, some fittings, blah, blah, blah. When I traced them back, because there was other units downstairs that were having problems too, they didn't tell me the alarm, but they were saying alarm. So I just go, you know what? Let me look at these, how they hooked up the cooling tower loops. They're on backwards. And I see why they did it, because on some units, the in and outs are at the same location. I don't know how to explain it, but one is it's hard to explain, but the in and outs are kind of similar locations, but they're opposite. And if you don't look at that, you're gonna put it at the same spot, and you're getting the out, and you're putting it into the in on some heat pumps. Anyways, 3 units there.
Okay, so the cooling tower loop was backwards?
Yes, they're backwards. They put them to the unit backwards, and those are the units that are having nuisance alarms.
Is this so you're talking like the water is going into the cooling tower?
Yes. The coming out is going into the in, let's say, on the heat pump.
That's cool.
They switched
real quick. I'm going to interrupt you guys. Adam, was that not the nicest end to a fight ever? They were literally hugging. Were you watching that? Like, what was going on with that? Those dudes were like smiling and shaking each other's hands and hugging each other.
It was a split decision, so they were like really happy with each other.
You guys don't listen. We'll talk about it unless it's a Tyson fight. Anyways.
Okay, so go ahead. Are you done? No.
Just keep talking, Joe.
No, pretty much.
I didn't mean it like that.
You just
wait. Get my words out right. I didn't know if you had another story to tell.
No. Just I'm just putting out fires. I'm liking it. I'm trying to put out fires and keeping the customer happy, and that's it. That's pretty much it. I'm videoing a lot of it. I'm doing little video clips, so I'm gonna try to put something together. Yeah. Again.
I wish I had more video clips. Mine are all installs because it seems like that's all I'm doing right now is installs.
One more question before you go. They're doing a PM on a factory, and I get a call saying, "Oh, he mentioned something about boiler pumps." I'm like, "Boilers? I didn't even know we had boilers." She calls me back. "Oh, it's on the PM too." So there's guys that know about them, but ignoring them because I guess they get scared of boilers. And there's these 2 Armstrong pumps. So I go to them. They're going off on high alarm, overcurrent sometimes. I go to them, and they have the cartridge filter. Anyways, it goes from the discharge, and they're supposed to be white, and they're just sludged. Take them down, they're sludged. And anyway, so little things like that I'm just discovering. It's pretty cool. And yeah, that's about it. Go ahead.
Joe's the hero.
Right now, I'm looking like a hero, and I love it. I fucking love it. Just taking all these.
So Gasman says he was talking to someone about when a walk-in freezer satisfies and stop the fans, and the person was telling him that it's actually more efficient than running the fans. The freezer will keep the temperature longer. Okay. I don't know. So my thought on that, again, maybe some people in the chat can tell me, but if you stop the fans on a freezer, depending on the size of the freezer, you're going to have more uneven temperatures, because if you have the fans moving the air, you're going to be circulating the air in the freezer more. So the bigger the freezer, the more circulation I would imagine you would want. I don't know if anybody agrees with that. If you shut off the fans and it's a big freezer, I would imagine that anywhere near a door and anywhere near the walls, the food's going to tend to be a little bit warmer because of infiltration. Those are my thoughts about running a fan, but I do know that sometimes they will do like stir cycle where they'll shut off the fans after so much off time for a certain period of time. There's usually an algorithm, then it'll click it back on. I do know they do that, but for me, here's the thing: the type of fancy crap that they put into a lot of our equipment, I tend to not use all that stuff because I don't know.
Meaning what?
Meaning like I will turn off stir cycle fan where it'll shut it off and turn it on just because I think you're going to have more problems.
Just to meet energy standards.
Yeah, the energy standard stuff is just kind of silly these days. So speaking of that, so we have an AWEF standard, annual walk-in efficiency factor. And what I thought was very interesting about that, it's a federal mandate across the United States that, they're making equipment more efficient, that kind of stuff. That's why you're seeing microchannel condensers, 2-speed fans, all that crap. But what I thought was interesting with the AWEF standards is they didn't tell people how to meet energy efficiency. They just told people they had to meet a certain energy efficiency number, and they let all the manufacturers come up with their own ways. So that's why you see one manufacturer doing this, one putting digital displays, one doing, because they all just go about it a different way to try to be better. But it's one of those things.
I was going to read that.
I like that guy's helmet.
Yeah.
Oh, man, he's local to me too.
Yeah, he had a scare too with those plugs.
Yeah, those
man.
plugs. Yeah,
Those are like, why do they make them flush like that? That's ridiculous.
I know.
They're hard to get out. They're
Right.
difficult,
You need a wrench.
on the refrigeration stuff, a lot of the times they'll still leave depending on the manufacturer, you'll get the white plugs and they'll still leave them sticking out a little bit. But what I find is that sometimes the pipe will get jammed up against it and it shoves the plugs in. And then, I've seen plugs stuck down a 1/4 inch and it's like, you go to look at the pipe. So that's why it's become a habit of mine too. Whenever I pick up materials and everything, I'm always looking at pipe because I'm deathly afraid of on a refrigeration system.
I'm gonna go back and I'm just gonna like blast nitrogen through these well, just to
if on our startup we forgot to pour water down the drain. That's part of our normal startup procedure is, once you get everything done and you're commissioning it, is to take a pan full of hot water, pour it down the drain and go follow the drain to make sure you have good flow. Right. That got forgotten about basically. So we probably would have caught it on the install, which would have been a little bit better. But whatever. At least we caught it the next day and it didn't turn into an emergency service call.
Yeah,
so
that's a good way. Always check the ends and mark the pipe when you pull the plugs. Yeah,
that's a good idea. Marking it. Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yep, for sure. So what else is up? What do you guys got going on this weekend? Anything?
Grocery shopping.
Catching up on stuff. I've been gone all week.
Yeah.
In Wisconsin.
I'm
in my probationary period. I'm being trained to start teaching the carbon monoxide class, the combustion class.
Ooh.
There's another
Jim
fight
Davis class, guys. Huh?
There's another fight still.
Yeah.
Oh, there's gonna be like 80 fights till they get.
I don't ever watch. I don't ever watch sports, so I don't know anything about fight. So
my area, cool.
Bill, I want to know. Have you ever gone back and reviewed the combustion book since that class?
No. I've referenced it a little bit just to like just random curiosities, but I haven't gone back. And I mean, honestly, like there was rumors that I was going to be tossed into some combustion analyzing or some boiler PMs and CSDs and stuff like that. I'm like, man, I wish all of that class was fresher in my mind. Because I took that class, what was that, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, something like that. We took that class and then I came back to my company and didn't do anything with any of that knowledge whatsoever.
Well, you can call me, you can call Casey. I'm sure you can call Jim. You got Jim's cell phone number, don't you?
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna call somebody if I get tossed into something like that.
Did you guys see Nathan Orr trolling in Misfits today?
No. What's he trolling about?
He was just messing around with him. Like he was posting stuff and then it was like really crazy. And then and then he said something like, I'm just trying to see how far I can push it or something like that. Like he was just messing with him, trying to see what it would take to get him kicked out. It was pretty funny though. He's posting some random crap in there.
I will say, I'm sure, I mean, I don't know how far away I can get into this, but the what's her name? Jen, HVAC chick lady, and Gene Slade are having some sort of tiff.
Oh yeah.
It seems like Gene Slade is like really kind of.
I think that's
a little bit
just a way to make himself get attention, kind of a thing.
Yeah, 100% agree with you, Chris. He is doing it on purpose because he's a troll, and it just gets his name. It bounces his name around the algorithm.
Yeah,
he spends $20,000 to $30,000 a month posting videos on Facebook.
That's insane. There's got to be a return on it though. So I guess, I mean, he wouldn't be doing it if there wasn't a return. So
it is insane.
Hey, Brian.
What's up?
What's up,
actually, bud? Speaking of Brian, actually, and that troll Nathan Orr posted it too, so he knows about him too. I'm telling you, the guy's hilarious. That the guy in the Facebook group.
You know what's funny? I don't know when celebrities die until Nathan Orr posts one of his little things about.
That is true.
I did
see his post. Yep.
And then I'm like, oh crap, did they die? And I Google it real quick. I'm like, oh man, they did die.
I never thought about that, but that is true. There's been at least 2 or 3 recently that Nathan has posted about.
And I didn't know it. I don't know. I'm like, damn it, Nathan. That's where I get all my bad news from.
Yep. That is funny.
Anyways.
Cool. Well,
yeah.
I think it's time we wrap it because I got to go eat dinner. It's time.
Yeah, it's good to be all back.
I gotta go check on.
We're back, guys.
See if she
I
cracked
feel like
on-
we need to make, guys. I think you need to make another one of those videos. Like we're back. The band's back together, Joe.
Yeah.
we should do that when we have time.
When we have time.
That is a very good idea. We should definitely do something like that. Like that other video we had.
Yeah.
The only other video we all made as a group.
Well, I wasn't there.
But you know how much coordinating that took for us to get like the
It was very difficult. We should do it though.
Difficult.
Let's do it right now.
Now that
I
Adam
feel like
is
we would have to get a
apprentices.
sponsor for that video so you can have a camera person go shoot everybody's part. Like one person so he knows like that's a director too.
Travel around the country.
Yes.
Like we
Except
Except
one
when
guy's
they
going to
go to
start
the-
and then have a whole story and he's going to put it together.
$85,000 later, we got 35 seconds of footage for you guys.
And then we're going
That's
to
exactly how long. That's exactly how long the outro is.